All right, let's be honest. Are you just tired of juggling a dozen different windows just to write a few lines of code? Yeah, me too. And if you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to look at a brand new tool called Warp, and it's designed to finally end that developer's nightmare of constant context switching by introducing something totally new, what they're calling the Agentic development environment.
And this quote from the Warp team, it just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? Think about it. Most of our tools, the ones we use every day, they were built for a world where we typed every single character ourselves. But now, AI is writing up to 90% of our code. So this old way of working, it's just becoming this massive bottleneck.
And yeah, that leads us right into something I'm sure you are all too familiar with, the context switching nightmare. You know what I'm talking about. It's that constant focus-breaking shuffle between different apps just to get one single thing done.
Just let that number sink in for a second. 80 to 90%. That's how much code is now being written with some form of AI assistance. It's wild. And yet, our main tools, they're still basically just glorified text editors, right? This massive disconnect is creating a daily reality for developers that is, frankly, just frustrating and super inefficient.
And this is what that reality actually looks like. We've got our code editor open, then we're flipping over to an AI chat window, then we got to open the terminal, check on Docker, and all the while, you've got a browser with like a million tabs open. Every single switch just shatters your focus, your flow state, and it just drains your mental energy.
Okay, so what's the fix? Well, this is where Warp comes into the picture. And let's be clear, it's not just another terminal. No way. It's a completely new kind of workbench that pulls all of your development tools into one single unified interface. And the key part? It's designed from the ground up specifically for an AI-first workflow. And that, right there, is the core idea, an agentic development environment. So forget all that juggling we were just talking about. Just imagine, for a second, a single space where your code, your AI assistants, your agents, and all your command line tools are perfectly integrated. Everything you need right there in one focused view.
Now, this is a really important point because it clarifies what Warp is actually for. Look, it's not trying to replace your IDE when you need to do that deep manual coding. Instead, Warp is built to excel when your job shifts from writing the code to thinking, planning, and prompting an AI to execute your vision. The whole focus moves from the editor to the agent.
All right, that's enough theory. Let's actually see this thing in action, right? We're going to start with a pretty straightforward task, just to get a feel for that core prompt, plan, execute loop.
So let's say we want to build a simple Python translator. You just start with a natural language prompt, just type what you want. Warp takes that, analyzes it, and comes back with a clear step-by-step plan. If it looks good to you, you approve it, and bam, Warp executes the plan and writes all the code for you. In just a few moments, you have a working script that's ready to test. It's so simple, clean, and just unbelievably fast.
Okay, that was the warm-up. A simple example is one thing, but what about a real-world, complex feature inside an existing project? Let's really put this whole agentic workflow to the test and see how it handles something more serious.
So here's our goal. Add a request a feature button. Now, this isn't trivial, not at all. It's got to touch the database, the back-end APIs, and the front-end UI. This is exactly the kind of task that normally has you context switching like crazy, right? You're jumping between your database client, your back-end code, your front-end code, your deployment tools. It's a mess. So we'll kick things off with the back-end. We give our first AI agent a prompt to build out the new API endpoints. And what's cool is, the agent immediately starts scanning the entire project. It's learning the structure, your coding style, what libraries you prefer, all the existing conventions, and it does all of that before it even writes a single line of code.
And here is where Warp's multitasking power just really shines. While that first agent is busy chugging away on the back end, we don't have to just sit there and wait. Nope, we can immediately kick off a second task in parallel. We just activate another agent and tell it to start building the user interface on the front end. And you can track everything with this really simple system. A purple circle means the agent is thinking and working. A yellow square means, hey, I need your input on something. And a green check mark means the job is done. You can see the status of all your agents at a single glance, which means you can easily jump between them without ever losing your train of thought.
So, look at that. Agent 1 has finished the backend API. Awesome. We don't even pause. We immediately give it a new task. Go ahead and deploy the project using Docker.
And this is all happening while our second agent is still busy working away on those front-end components. Absolutely no downtime, no waiting around.
And just like that, the task is complete. Both agents have finished their work, the back end is written and deployed, the front end is built, the new feature is live and it's working. We went from a complex idea to a fully deployed feature all inside one single unified space. Zero context switching.
Okay, so let's step back for a second. What does this new way of working actually mean for you as a developer? Let's break down the key advantages here.
First off, the unified workflow pretty much ends context switching, which lets you spend way more time in that deep focus flow state. Second, you get true multitasking with multiple agents, which just means you get more done in less time. It's simple math. Third, the agents are super context aware, so they write code that actually fits with your existing project. And finally, this isn't just some marketing promise. It's actually been proven. Yeah, on industry benchmarks like Terminal Bench and SWE Bench, Warp actually ranks #1. This shows that their whole approach isn't just a neat idea, it's a genuinely more effective way to build software. And what that means for you is pretty simple. You're going to ship features faster and with fewer bugs.
So if you're ready to finally put an end to that context switching nightmare, and you want to experience a much more streamlined, AI-powered workflow for yourself, you should really give Warp a try. And to help you get started, the team over at Warp is offering a huge 70% discount on their Pro subscription. All you have to do is use the promo code UTSAV, that's UTSAV, and with that, you can get full access for just $5.40 a month. It's a fantastic opportunity to see for yourself just how much an agentic development environment can completely transform your workflow. Look, the future of software development is really here, and it's not just about writing code anymore, it's about thinking, planning, and collaborating with AI. So the real question is, what would you build if you never had to switch contexts again? I, for one, I'm really excited to see what you create. Thanks for watching.